Good morning, everybody. How is everybody? I'm going to wait for people to start joining. Trying to make sure I really am live. Oh, look, there I am. And I have volume. I hope people are joining. I know today Stephen has his pop-up show day, so I expect most people to be there, but I decided, hey, I might as well see what I can do. Since, I have promised to go live every now and then. Good morning, Tessa. How are you? As I said a minute ago, Tessa, it seems like people are going to be a little quiet because Stephen of Bland Designs and Media Quilter has a pop-up show day. So either people are going to be double dipping and make Stephen jealous, or, there's some people who don't attend his stuff. And if you're not attending his pop-up show days, why not? If you go over to his channel, which I have linked in most of my videos, you'll see the information. It is a Zoom. It's not streamed on YouTube. So, for the people who just want to sew with somebody and not be on the YouTube, it's awesome. But it's on Zoom. So if you don't like being on Zoom, that's a different story. Good morning, Charlotte. How are you? I have gotten a lot of progress done on my semicircles, which this is starting to look gorgeous. So that's what I'm working on trying to sew today. These are a border for a panel. This is the quilt project for anybody who is currently curious. There we go. Now it's in focus. So that's going to be fun. These semicircles are borders. Good morning, Landa from Burr, Colorado. I'm sorry, you said Colotado. Oh, I love accidental misspells. It's so much fun. Tessa is checking out Moda Creator's free ornament. There's free ornament patterns. Okay, I'm going to have to look at this in a minute once I get this seam sewn. Tessa, they are not hard. They're just time consuming. I don't like pinning, and I pinned every single one of these because I want them to be as perfect as possible. So it took me between 15 and 20 minutes for each, but the curve is a very gentle curve on these. So it's not a difficult sew. You just got to go slow. I'm going to quickly pull up this Moda Creators free ornament patterns before I forget. Christmas ornament. Ooh, those are cute. Okay, I'm going to have to go look at those later because I'm not going to do that. Yes, Tessa, patience. Do I have a quick one that I can easily show? So, yeah, if you look at them, this curve is not a bad curve. It's a long curve. This finishes at 6 inches. So it's not like the traditional drunkard's path, which are usually like a 3-inch curve, because this is a gentle curve. You don't have to pin it probably, but like I said, I'm making sure that I do these as perfect as possible because this is a awesome gift for a friend. And, if it's got importance behind it, you want to do as great as you can. But looking at the back, you see there's no pleats or anything because it's a gentle curve. You just have to you have to bring your stitch length down a little bit. I was stitching these at a 1.8 and do 3 or 4 stitches at a time and make sure you just keep your hand moving. Charlotte is working on a Japanese knot bag. Isn't that like macrame? Cheryl is making Christmas cards to mail out late as usual. It is never too late for Christmas cards. I think one year I should send Christmas cards in July just to confuse people. And Landa is asking, aren't I doing the New York Beauty sew along? I'm a master of curves. Officially right now, no, I am not doing the New York Beauty sew along. However, I may have purchased fabric. Philippa has been trying to enable me. I've purchased fabric for it, but I don't have time to start it until later this month, just because I've got a handful of things that need to get done in the next few days. So I am not officially starting anything, but I may have fabric. Good morning, Stephanie. Are you, two-timing on Steven? Because I won't tell if you don't tell. It is my friends Stephanie and Shannon, Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches and Shannon of Slay Arts, who are hosting the New York Beauty that Londa was talking about. Like I said, I have the fabric. I have everything that I need for it. I just don't have the time yet to start it. A Japanese knot bag is a fabric bag that is sewn. Oh! I don't know enough about, Japanese knots. But that sounds fun. Might be. Yep, I might be. I just don't have the time right now officially. I am doing Vlogmas every day. I hope you have been viewing my videos. Each day has been an opening of an Advent box of fabric, fat quarters, and then also a little piece into me of some of my favorite things. And then now I have Percy, the partially radioactive cat, complaining that he's not in here with me. And it's funny because he's never in here with me because he's not allowed in here with me. Karen wasn't going to say anything. Don't want Stephen to catch her. I'm not going to tell anybody. If Stephen finds out, it's not from me. Now, he has come in here and bombed us. So if he sees you, it's not my fault. He's a hoot. He is a wonderful guy in all of these pop-up sew days that he does. I love doing them. I'm not going to be able to join after the live because I have to go and buy some thread and pay for some fabric that I pre-ordered. Katie Crafts just watched my Vlogmas video. She loves my ugly sweater t-shirts. Because I don't wear sweaters at all, ugly or not. And Karen thinks that The River is one of the best songs ever, isn't it? Growing up, parents loved Garth Brooks, and their favorite was always Friends in Low Places. But when it came to his ballads, everybody loved The Dance, which, that's an incredible song as well. I'm not taking out to that. But The River just sang more to me because it's, you control stuff, whereas The Dance is more of a song about a little bit of a loss, and it doesn't matter if you lost, at least you have those memories. And I hate this stupid heart. So Londa loves my Vlogmas and save the opening for the grandkids. Oh, my bad jokes. I love jokes. I have a new favorite joke, but I don't think it's YouTube appropriate, so I can't share it. I mean, it was on another YouTube channel, but that channel also is demonetized. So even though I'm not monetized, I don't want YouTube to get upset at me. I hope everybody is enjoying this beautiful Saturday. Speaking of Vlogmas, I got a comment the other day asking if I can get a second camera set up, similar to other channels. The first thing I have to say is you should not be comparing people to other channels. That's not appropriate because you don't know what level of expertise somebody's has. But that said, I do have plans on getting a second camera. The second camera is purchased. The problem is the second camera doesn't work with my laptop. So I bought a new computer that should support 2 cameras, but I haven't been able to get that hooked up yet because I'm doing Vlogmas and I don't want to risk losing my current setup, trying to do a new setup and not get a Vlogmas video out. So it's either going to be once I get ahead on Vlogmas, or once I get done with Vlogmas, that I will be able to start doing multicam videos. So this is one of the side borders. It needs pressing. I have a whole pile here, so I'm going to be de-stitching them or separating them. This is another side border. I'm loving these, and they are looking gorgeous in the camera. Here is another. This is going to be a top border or bottom border. I don't know which one this is. This one is another side. And like I said, these curves are not difficult. You just have to take them a little slow. I will be putting a video out about the pattern and tips and tricks on how to do these curves, probably in January. So yeah, those are the curve blocks. Charlotte says nice curves. I mean, that's something that you can say on this because they are curves. Katie says her t-shirt yesterday said, "Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but this fabric is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let us sew, let us sew, let us sew." Yeah, today it's raining, and we had to go to the doctor's office this morning. Percy had to have his blood work rechecked after radioactivity to make sure things are running fine. And it stopped raining for a few seconds as we were trying to get out. But then, after we got the blood work done, I talked to the doctor, made sure I'm feeding Percy enough because he's been complaining that he's hungry. And I'm like, "You're getting enough food." And he was getting enough food. He's just like, we got to adjust his food a little. So he's on the weight management stuff. That's supposed to make him feel a little better. But once everything was done, it started pouring again. So yeah, I was just like, dudes, can we not have bad weather, please? Tessa says, I got a lot done. A lot of this is done the past couple nights while I was working on Vlogmas videos, because a 10-minute video honestly takes about an hour. I got to get things prepped for the video. It takes, I'm going to say, roughly 15 minutes to record because I've got my before. I got to make sure I have my everything in there. If I'm not doing any clips in there, it's just a couple minutes longer that I record than the video is. But then I have to go in and edit it because I have to add, my little intro before the joke and after the joke, and get the exit song in there. So it takes, and then after that, you have to process it. So that takes an hour to do. So instead of just sitting here doing nothing, I've been working on this project. And since we're working on the borders now, the center is a panel. I think I might be able to get it done tomorrow. At least the top. Then I got to get it on the long arm. Katie says it snowed 6 inches in Denver overnight. A friend of mine lives in Nederlander, Colorado, which probably they got more. She likes the snow. Bless her heart. And Stephanie says no snow there in Ohio. It's 60, very warm. I think we are about 60 here today too, and very rainy. So the next pieces that I have, they are little rectangles. It's a pile of different colors, which I've shown basically the same color 4 times. I love this star print. And there's the rainbow print in it, and there's another one in here. Where are you hiding? I know it's in here. It should be in here. If it's not, I'm missing some fabric. I must be missing some fabric. Nope. It's just those 3 colors. Oops. So these are being sewn together with a little strip in between. So I just got to make sure I sew these correctly. There's 2 that don't need them on the side, and everything else needs them on the side. So I should be able to just chain stitch without having to think again. It's better when I don't have to think. As I was saying, after this, I need to run up to Kennesaw in order to buy my thread and pay for fabric that I've already or that I pre-ordered. And then either before or after that, I might have a hot lunch date. So we will see. We've already basically confirmed. So as long as he doesn't stand me up, I've got lunch plans. We're going to Bahama Breeze. You think it is? So that'll be fun. I told Steven, it takes another person in order for me to not show up to his pop-up soda days. That and I have to go pay for fabric. I was supposed to do that last week, but the shop was closed. I was a little disappointed because I had just talked to the shop owner and she's like, yeah, come over Saturday and pay for it. I was like, okay, because I'd rather pay in person than over the phone in order to avoid the extra credit card fee. Because if you make a payment over the phone and they have to type in your card number, it is one amount. And then if you swipe it, it is a smaller amount for the credit card fee. And with small businesses, I'm like, I would prefer to swipe if I can because it's cheaper on you. It's probably like $1 difference in total, but if they can take that dollar and buy, I don't know, more fabric with it. Because, if 10 people took advantage of that whole credit card thing and paid in person versus over the phone, that's $10. It adds up quickly. They're going to reach 75 in Texas today. I don't know if I think that's good or bad. I will say I do miss the days of going to Phoenix for Thanksgiving because it was nice being in the 80s. Charlotte is near San Antonio. So, and then Katie and Landa are practically neighbors. The internet is a small, small world. I won't sing that Disney song. I really do need to get my second camera working because I'm sure a second camera will look more exciting than just looking at me and seeing my cow in the background. San Antonio is a nice place to visit. I have been to Texas once, excluding when I flew through it. I think I was in 8th grade. My brother and his wife were looking to move to South Carolina, where my family lived, just to be closer to Dad. And I don't remember where in Texas they lived. But I do remember the giant bugs that would land on the windshield. And I remember like getting there, we were all, or I was exhausted and I fell asleep on their couch. And his wife's family only spoke Spanish. And as I'm waking up, they're arriving home, and I mean, they knew who I was and everything, but I had no idea who any of them were, and none of them spoke Spanish, so I just continued to pretend to sleep on the couch until somebody else came home that spoke English. All because they stopped teaching Spanish to everybody in my high school. For some reason, they decided French would be the prominent language. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. New Braunfels. That, I probably mispronounced that name. Chain stitching is awesome. But now I have to start thinking once I get these pressed open. Because I have to figure out what needs to go next to where in order for it to look the best. Probably going to follow the picture on the pattern. Because then I don't have to make decisions. Okay, iron is heating up. What else has been going on? Phoenix is currently 54 with a predicted high to be 68. And with it being dry, that's probably a perfect day. Oh, Kathy opened up her project from the Jolly Box, keeping it silent in case some people still haven't seen it yet. I will tell you, Kathy, that this past Sunday, Shannon of Slay Arts and Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches, they sewed up the potholder project on Shannon's channel. So if you are looking for some little bit of guidance on tips and tricks and everything, I would recommend going and checking them out because, like I said, they did it and they completed it on Shannon's Sunday brunch this past weekend. And as Stephanie's saying, they were fun. So I would definitely go check those videos out, or that video out, if you need some guidance. I am loving how these fabrics just go together and are so bright and colorful and cheerful, and also very spacey. I mean, I'm sure people are like, how does a variegated stripe be spacey? I don't know, but it works. Couple more. Kathy says she will go look at the video, but probably start first. And for the naysayers of the cordless irons, I just pressed all of these. Not certain how many there are, but there's a large number. There was a strange laugh outside. And I didn't have to put this on to recharge for the heat, so they do stay heated for pretty long. The laugh outside was my Amazon delivery driver. Okay, so if I'm doing it this way, I need a blue. So you go here. Now is where I hope that I continue to sew correctly. I hope everybody is being kind to their delivery drivers this time of year, because I believe they are very overworked. Okay, now I need one of you, and it needs there's only 3 colors here, and I can't find my color I need. My next door neighbor has a snack and water set up outside her front door for her delivery driver. It's everybody's delivery driver, but for anybody who delivers to her house. Which cordless do I have? I have the Panasonic whatever version. It looks funny because I don't have the reservoir in here right now, the water reservoir. It popped off, and I don't use steam, so I just never put it back on. Charlotte's internet is behaving badly. Is that when you punish your router, send it to the corner, let it think about the bad things that it's done? I will catch you later, Charlotte. Hopefully your internet starts working fine. There's always replays. You go with you. I've had mixed UPS folks, Landa. When I was living in the apartment, we had a wonderful one to the point where, like, after I bought my house, I had ordered my Black Friday from Bestest Bias, and apparently they had my old address for some reason. And the UPS driver ends up calling me up and saying, "Didn't you move?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I have a delivery for you, and I thought you moved." And I said, "I did. Are you at my apartment complex?" And he said, "Yes." So I said, "I will be there in 5 minutes to pick it up if you tell me where you want me to meet you." So yeah, he was wonderful, and we've had a couple other ones in the neighborhood that were great here, but then we've also had some that are less than stellar. The best one in the neighborhood, I was walking Riley. I tell you, I couldn't have told you anything about this UPS driver because I hadn't really seen him much. And I'm out walking Riley around the corner, and he yells out, "How you doing, Russ?" He actually said Mr. my last name, and I was like, "How do you know my last name?" And he's like, "I make it an effort to know all my people on my roots' last names." And I was like, "Well, that's pretty awesome. How did you know it was me? Because I've never seen you before." So I'm guessing he had seen me, at least departing the house, so he knew who I was. So I thought that was awesome. FedEx is hit or miss. With my sister, she had for a while horrible luck with, I think she had horrible luck with UPS, but better luck with FedEx. And then it just ended up switching where she was having better luck with FedEx than UPS. They left packages of hers in the snow, in a puddle, and I was like, that's not a good thing. I know that if I'm shipping, FedEx tends to be a few dollars cheaper and a day faster when I'm sending to her. But something's not mathing right. I think I have an extra block or two. I'm going to have to pull this out and check. But yeah, the whole idea that in some cases it's faster with UPS and that. So however she ends up getting her package ends up being however she gets her package. I know I sent off a quilt to Stephanie to long arm because I can't fit it on my long arm machine. It's my socialites quilt, and I was asking, do you prefer FedEx or UPS? And she said that UPS was a little bit better for her, but it didn't really matter. So I went to go drop it off at the FedEx store, and they were closed. And I had thought that the FedEx store was open 24/7. Yeah, I have 2 extra pieces that I don't need. I was wondering why them at. Okay. If it says so. But my quilt made it to her safe and sound, and she's long arming it. Or maybe it's already been long armed. I don't know. but she's going to return it back to me at her retreat later this month. Because she's driving, so she has that little bit of extra room in her vehicle. And I was like, well, if it saves you, the however many dollars to ship it, that's a few dollars less that has to be expended. Landa's FedEx guy leaves things in the driveway because her dog barks. Okay, now I've lost where I was again. And Jackie is making apple pie for her dad. Today would have been their 74th anniversary. Wow. Today is my dad's birthday, and he would have been 87, if my math is right. That doesn't sound right, but okay, now I have to do math because I feel like that's wrong. Let me verify I've got the year right. Uh, 78. I was just dyslexic. So yeah, he would have been 78 this year. I lost him way too many years ago. And 2 days ago would have been Mom and Dad's anniversary. Okay, so let's throw you on so I don't get lost. Once I get these borders pieced, everything together comes up as basically borders. So I just need to trim down the panel to its proper dimensions and then place all the borders on. Landa's dog has gotten in the truck with the UPS guy. When I had my corgi and was living in the apartment, when UPS or FedEx would come knocking on the door, that's not it, he would always, run out and say hi to the FedEx guy. That was always fun and adorable. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Making sure I don't put too many on or put two of the same color or too close to each other. OCD attack. And these sashing strips between them are 1.5 inch unfinished. So I really don't want to rip those out. No, not that one. I had these in an order once. There's that last one. Okay. So yeah, I'm hoping by the end of the year to have second camera up so that things look more exciting. I also know that when I'm watching other folks, I will, if they have their projects in hand showing, I watch more of what they are sewing than what I should be working on. Good morning, Susan. About to start her Christmas sew day, hoping to get a lot done. I have gotten a lot done this morning, so I hope you get a lot done as well. I've got all these little squares to put together. And as I said, I'm hoping to have this done, the top done tomorrow, so I can throw it on the long arm soon to get it quilted and be ready for show and tell on Saturday. Because the next weekend is Saturday Sampler at my local quilt shop, and my favorite part isn't picking up our next quilt block for our program. It is watching all the show and tell with all the gorgeous stuff. Susan's laughing at the dog getting in the UPS truck. It could be worse, you know, it could be a kid sneaking onto the UPS truck and nobody noticing for hours. Okay, let's see how these go together. Okay. I have 2 seams left, it looks like. And then it's all borders. And a lot of pressing, because I haven't pressed a thing. The semicircle blocks are going to be fun to press. And then some of these fabrics are starting to think about fraying, so they are going to be fun to press. I know some people say I should be pre-starching. I don't starch. I'm going to be honest. I do like, as Stephanie calls it, magic juice. I need to get those in my projects more often. It just adds a few minutes extra of time. Okay. So this is one border strip. And this is the other. The pattern calls for a 1-inch strip to be on the top and bottom of these. I have those cut, but I can't sew them until these are pressed because the seams are not flat. So I'm going to do that probably off camera just because that's a lot of pressing to do. Got a lot of pressing there. But once I get the top border of the quilt done, so that's these strips. So once I get those strips done, all I have to do is take the center panel and put a single border around it. And then I can put all the pieced borders around it. And then there's another little black border up here. So this border and this border are both black. The sashing and border around these are the space print. And cutting black is very tough because the lines on your ruler are black, the fabric is black, and my cutting mat, the back of it, or the cutting side of it that I have up, is a dark gray. So it's very difficult to cut black. But yeah, I am very thrilled. Probably going to have this done tomorrow, as I was hoping. For what else is going on? The big exciting thing, as I said earlier, is Vlogmas. There are a ton of content creators putting out Vlogmas videos this year. I'm putting out a Vlogmas video every morning at 9:30 a.m. My friend Stephanie, who's in the chat, she is putting out her Vlogmas video at 8:30 a.m. And our friend Shannon of Slay Arts is putting a Vlogmas video out every morning at 9 a.m. Our friend Adam Sews, who is a wonderful sewist out in the UK, he's putting out Vlogmas videos as well. He doesn't have a exact time that he's putting his stuff out, but it's been a lot of fun to see his updates every day. This evening at 5:00, my friend Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches, she will be doing her live at 5. And we will be sewing up the carnival clue 5 question mark. I don't have the pattern in front of me. I think it's 5, could be 6. Whatever the most recent clue that came out. She's going to be hosting a Zoom sew along with a handful of folks, and I will be on there this evening along with many wonderful people sewing up carnival. Tomorrow morning, our friend Sean of The Guy Who Sews will be putting out his weekly podcast tomorrow at 11. Shannon of Slay Arts will be having her live brunch with Shannon. Sunday brunch. That's what she calls it, Sunday brunch. I'm not certain what she's working on yet, but it's always a blast to have her on while I'm sewing. Tomorrow at 4 p.m., our friend Steven of Bland Design and the Idiot Quilter, he puts out he's doing his live with Steven and Walter. That is always a blast to go watch. They try to have a little bit of a conversation to send the conversation with a topic, and sometimes it gets completely sidetracked. Sometimes I do say silly things in the chat that gets them all mixed up. It's hilarious. And then tomorrow evening, I will have my weekly vlog that I put out. It'll be sometime evening. It's all the shenanigans that I got up to this week, and we had some shenanigans. Then I know there's a whole bunch of other events happening during the week. I know that this coming Friday, the 15th, there's going to be some excitement over on Stephanie's channel. So you need to make sure you're subscribed to her and check those out. Speaking of subscribing, my friend Shannon of Slay Arts and I, we have goals of trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So while you're watching this video, I should have probably said this earlier, but I've got your attention now. There is a subscribe button right about there, maybe it's there, just somewhere below the window. Just go, please hit that button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it tells YouTube really that you like us, and it gets us closer and closer to that 1,000 mark. Once we hit 1,000, YouTube starts pushing us out a little bit more. So it's a lot of work to get to 1,000. And then if there's a little bell icon next to it, and if you ring that bell, it will actually notify you when we go live. So if you're on my channel and you ring the bell, it lets you know when I go live, which is Saturday mornings at 11. And Shannon goes live if you ring the bell on her channel. She goes live Sunday mornings at 11. And Stephanie, make sure you ring that bell on hers. She goes live Saturdays live at 5. So yeah, those would be awesome if you can do that. Hi, Colleen. I apologize that we are at the end of the hour, but there's always a replay. There's always replays. Don't feel bad if you missed anything, because replays are awesome. And like I said, by the end of the month, I'm hoping to have my dual camera set up and have that type of awesomeness in here, so that you can see what I'm working on, what I'm sewing on as it's underneath the needle. So I'm going to end it here so I can get Riley around the block before it decides to start raining again. And then I'm going to head up to Kennesaw for lunch and picking up thread and everything else that I need. So hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope to see you at any of the lives that are coming up. And